Disclaimer, the video you are about to see contains rules for Dungeons and Dragons which are either simplified or not mentioned in the video, and thus in no way actually reflects the rules seen in real gameplay. This video is also based on a real-life D&D horror story on Reddit which will not be suitable for some viewers. Viewer discretion is advised.
Hello fellow viewers. It is yours truly, the great Dungeon Master Microsoft Sam, and today I'll take a gander at what playing the world's most popular RP game, Dungeons and Dragons, feels like. And since I already mentioned I'm gonna be playing that game, as the Dungeon Master, the person who narrates the story, manages NPCs and monsters and keeps a watchful eye on players, I must invite some friends over to give me feedback about their fantasy characters so I could outline my campaign that'll suit their characters. The campaign that I'm about to do is going to be rather short, 3 sessions long, because this is going to be our first time playing D&D, so we do need to learn the basics first and memorize the rules that we must follow. But since most of us are computers, we will learn about those rules more quickly. So without further ado, let's get right along with our session's heroes, shall we? Yabba-dabba-swah. Okay, this is the beginning of session's hero, and I have brought along 4 people over. So, starting with Scotty, what kind of character are you gonna play as?
Well, I'm not the biggest fan of Dungeons and Dragons, by any means, but whatever. I'm gonna be playing as the Minotaur Barbarian. Think of him as the biggest guy of the group, because he's able to take in loads of punishment and deal just as much with his giant great axe, for crushing his opponents to a bloody pulp. The primal rage is what makes my Minotaur strong as all hell. What do you think, Sam?
Okay, so you're saying that your Minotaur Barbarian is an absolute tank of your adventurer's party. Since I have the rulebook for playable Minotaurs, I think I'll allow it. But here's one minor detail that's missing from you. Your character's alignment. So, which alignment is your Minotaur?
HMMMMMMMMMMMMMMMMMMMMMMMMMMMMMMMMMMMMMMMMMMMMMMMMMMMMMMMMMMMMMMMMMMMMMMMMMMMMMMMMMMMMMMMMMMMMMMMMMMMMMMMMMMMMMMMMMMMMMMMMMMMMMMMMMMMMMMMMMMMMMMMMMMMMMMMMMMMMMMMMMMMMMMMMMMMMMMMMMMMMMMMMMMMMMMMMMMMMMMMMMMMMMMMMMMMMMMMMMMMMMMMMMMMMMMMMMMMMMMMMMMMMMMMMMMMMMMMMMMMMMMMMMMMMMMMMMMMMMMMMMMMMMMMMMMMMMMMMMMMMMMMMMMMMMMMMMMMMMMMMMMMMMMMMMMMMMMMMMMMMMMMMMMMMMMMMMMMMMMMMMMMMMMMMMMMMMMMMMM
topic neutral Minotaur Barbarian is what you're going for? If yes, then okay, that's your choice. Up next is Cicely. So, Cicely, what character are you gonna play as?
Well, to keep things simple, I would like to play as a high elf wizard. She's lawful good, has spent countless years on researching arcane magic, and will do anything to help the party survive dangerous obstacles in their way. Being a high elf, she has bonuses to her intelligence and magical capabilities, so she'll be an important asset to the team.
I think this is one of the best ideas you ever came up with, Cicely. Since your character is a lawful good high elf wizard, you can prove to be one hell of a support caster for your entire team, giving your fellow adventurers buffs and being able to be, like you said, a vital asset to your party. I might expect your wizard character to be the brains and voice of reason here. Up next is Pruddy. So, what character are you gonna play as?
I'm gonna play as an Arakakra Ranger of Chaotic Good Alignment, since he was sent out in the material plane as one of the scout members. He spends most of the time hunting down any beholders that would dare manipulate lesser beings into serving their sinister agenda, as he knows many creatures of the Underdark would pose a great danger to any surface civilizations unlucky enough to be nearby. He specializes in long-range combat due to his proficiency with bows and arrows, and wears pretty light armor so his flight wouldn't be hindered.
I think the way how your character hunts down beholders into keeping them away from civilizations might have some interesting implications. Being that your Arakakra is an aberration hunter, I think your post might be situated near the edge of the Underdark, where your fellow scouts would keep those creeps away. Last, but certainly not least, we'll have Bernhard talk about his character he came up with, so Bernhard, go ahead. Well, for my character, I'm gonna play as a lawful good Leonin paladin, since I think he represents divine glory that we were accustomed to in ancient times. He has a strong sense of justice, and is kind of like his fight first, ask questions later type of guy. His main weapon is his great sword, which he uses to smite his enemies to oblivion. But when not in combat, he's a well-meaning and respected holy warrior. Well, having a holy warrior to the party is always a nice touch. However, with great sense of honor, comes great responsibility for your character's behavior over the course of the campaign, as I have heard many horror stories on YouTube, where people have taken their lawful good paladins so far to the point where alignment starts to become irrelevant, to the point where the player starts to become an extremely stubborn asshole way too stupid to realize what's right or wrong. I'm talking about the lawful stupid kind, so I really wanted to make sure your character doesn't go that path, okay Bernhard? No worries Sam, I'll make sure I'll avoid the lawful stupid nonsense that you have heard about from online. I know what I'm doing. Okay, good. Now, I'll talk to you about what the world looks like in the campaign. Okay, this is the start of session 1. In a small town, there is a gathering of 50 people attending an annual festival in the town center courtyard. You, the Minotaur, are the first to attend the festival and wondered how it feels like to be in such an occasion. So Scotty, what is the very first thing that you want to do?
I know, I should make an investigation check.
An investigation check? Awesome. Guess you're finally getting the hang of the other aspects of the game besides combat. So Scotty, what are you gonna investigate?
I wanna see if there are women attending the festival here.
Oh. Okay. Here. Roll investigation. You rolled a 17. Not bad. Yes, you see the women amongst the men attending the festival, one of whom is a high elf wizard who also came here to attend the festival. You also see a tiefling woman offering cider and vodka to the attendees sitting on chairs waiting for the big event.
Do they like bologna sandwiches and have...
WTF?
What did you just say?
One minor detail I forgot to tell you about Scotty. Absolutely no bringing bologna, goddamn sandwiches everywhere in the game, especially if D&D is all about fantasy stuff. Also, you cannot tell by the attendees in the festival, as most are wearing some form of armor or something that's covering their chests. Neither can you tell from the vendor. The way how you said it just made the other players really uncomfortable. I mean, that's just fucking creepy, if you ask me.
Well, sorry Sam. I didn't even know why it came from my mouth all of a sudden. Okay, whatever. Can I talk to the tiefling?
Okay, sure, but why do you want to? There's a high elf wizard, Cecily's PC, waiting for you and might even explain her backstory to you. There's also an event coming up which will hinder your potential quests.
My character is sitting in the crowd waiting for you to sit next to me. Maybe our characters could talk to each other about their backstories. That'll have interesting story implications. Just do us a favor, will you?
Nah, my Minotaur walks up to the tiefling and I'm gonna seduce her.
Okay, Scotty. Let me tell you something. Some of us are excited for D&D, but you are trying way too hard to act really creepy in front of everyone on the table, especially me and the DM. Sam, can you help me out on this?
I'll take it from here, Cecily. So Scotty, what is your method in trying to seduce that tiefling woman vending beverages to the attendees? I assume you really have no idea in what kind of seduction you're gonna use, so will you either back off from the attempt or no?
Just give me a fucking roll to seduce Taco Hagi, asshole!
Now calm your tits, Scotty. All of us are using inside voices here. Just calm yourself, please. Also, first of all, no calling names, please. And secondly, you said that your Minotaur walks up to the tiefling with intent to seduce?
Yes. I walked up to that tiefling so I could sit down and have a drink with her.
Fine. Your Minotaur walks up to the tiefling, and she asks you, who do you think you are?
Oh. I say.
It's okay, relax. I'm just a Minotaur who is actually looking for someone to participate in my labyrinth. Will you join me in my game?
What kind of goddamn pickup line did you get from? Oh fuck it, make a persuasion check. Sorry Scotty, but you have rolled a natural 1, meaning your persuasion has failed. She looks at you with a combination of confusion and anger.
If you don't get your bovine ass away from me, I'll turn one of your horns into my newest magic item. I still have lots of people who want their drinks, so move on.
Alright, that's just fucking loot bullshit. When do I get another chance?
Not at all, unless you want to fight her.
Well, you shouldn't go up to people and ask them to take part in your so-called labyrinth game, especially towards women, as my wizard told you that what you are doing was really creepy. Please focus on something that—
Oh no, I shall grab your wizard towards me into giving you a kiss instead.
Oh my freaking god, Scotty.
What kind of fucking drugs have you taken, Scotty? That's player-on-player combat. We weren't even 5 minutes in, and now you're gonna attempt a kidnapping on one of the PCs? I'm not gonna allow this. Humph. The entire festival is starting to realize that your Minotaur is starting to cause problems and are yelling at you to get out. You have threatened to kidnap first the tiefling and now in your fellow high elf wizard. Personally, Scotty, I think you should seriously apologize to them both and reevaluate what you're doing. You are starting to make the entire table look bad.
Alright, you know what? Fine, have it your way, Sam. If I can't have any women to my labyrinth, then no fucking body can! I have no other choice but to kill that tiefling with my great axe.
So in other words, to put it bluntly, murder. Really? Okay, Scotty, I'm gonna have a real serious talk with you. This is the real me talking to you. Not the dungeon master. The real me, your almighty goddamn Microsoft Sam. What you are making right now, Scotty, is a massive mistake. I have given you many opportunities to fix your scummy behavior in this session, and yet you kept ignoring my warnings about the possible sexual assault and potential kidnapping of fantasy women, based on whatever preconceived notions you have about real-life women. I mean, look at Cicely, Brody and Bernhard now. They all felt extremely uncomfortable about this whole ordeal because of you. I mean, what the hell? Neither Brody and I had any part in this session yet.
How could you let us all down like that, Scotty? That's really poor sportsmanship.
Okay, look everyone, I'll have to admit that whatever I have done in this session was wrong, because I thought my Minotaur would like to try to score some women for once. I mean, come on, I'm a ladies' man for crying out loud.
But what happened instead is that two women are not falling to your advances, as they either have much more important stuff to do, or actually Cicely wanted her character to know what yours is up to. So I don't find any reason why you would want to murder a tiefling over something as serious as what you have done now. I'm gonna have no other choice.
Give me a roll for initiative.
Are you that fucking serious in getting yourself in deeper trouble? I don't know what has been up with you lately, but fine, play with fire. Get fucking burned, you bologna sandwich obsessed murder hobo. Roll for initiative, Scotty.
Wait, what about my great axe? She'll instantly go down in one swing, right?
I don't think so, Scotty. The Great Axe deals 1d12 slashing damage, and I buffed the Tiefling Commander up to challenge rating 3 with 52 hit points, so your axe will not kill her right away.
Well, I'm gonna use my axe on her anyway, let's go!
That fucking does it. The session is over. Scotty has ruined the D&D experience for all of us, and unless he realizes what he had done was wrong, I will never gonna be DMing with him again. What this means, Scotty, is you are now automatically banned from ever joining any and all subsequent D&D sessions with the rest of us again. So, if you really wanted to play D&D again, either do it in a game store or just make your own campaign online via D&D Beyond. But don't ever expect any of us to come over to your games at all.
Well, 2 words, Sam. So how would you feel if my Minotaur comes in and takes all of your tacos away?
Miss Fem, how was your Dungeons and Dragons session? PDR, this is not a good time to talk to me. The session I DM'd was fucking horrible. I told Scotty many times over to not be a horny prick, but he kept ignoring my warnings and even attempted to sexually assault and kidnap fantasy women, and we weren't even 5 minutes in. Now all of us are extremely disappointed in Scotty's bullshit. So Scotty, not only are you a bologna sandwich obsessed pimp, but you're also a potential member of the Barney Bunch much in the same way as Bonzi was.
What the fuck? What the fuck? Are you guys comparing me to some purple spyware gorilla and a degenerate perversion of what Drew Pickles was? Seriously, both of you should all rot in Max Tack prison for vilifying me like this.
Don't talk back at us, Scotty. You're the only person in that table we're on who knowingly done something that's wrong.
We've already warned you many times not to do that kind of behavior, and yet you kept ignoring us every single time just for you to keep on going with something none of us are okay with. You're no longer invited to any future sessions with us, remember?
Well, you know what? Screw you, screw your sessions, screw Dungeons and Dragons, and screw all your tacos and highway cookies. I'm gonna take my bologna sandwich business somewhere else, and I hope all of you will be devoured by gargoyles.
Ironically, the Ono reverse card has been drawn on you.
Nani?
Keep back, everyone. That thing's dangerous.
Oh, that fucking hurts, man. Hey, wait a minute. Don't let it hit me. What did you do?
Sam, what's gonna happen to Scotty now? Not sure. But given that the Metro Gargoyle was only after him instead of the rest of us, my best guess is that he's most likely gonna be dropped off to horny jail. So what now? I'm gonna head back to my room and go into sleep mode. I'm so burned out. I'm gonna walk back home and go into sleep mode as well. I'm also burned out from Scotty's bullshit. We can all agree we shall never invite him over again. That's why we're all here, for you, Sam. Next time will be better. Okay, see ya, peeps. Okay, see ya, Bernhard.
I'm just gonna head back into sorting out my documents and turn it over to my workplace. Even seemingly annoying Microsoft agents do have to work as well, and I could only have as much free time in the weekends. My boss has to get me working on a really tight schedule, so that's why I was under the radar that whole time.
Oh, I didn't know you ever had a work schedule. But since this is the weekend, can you be my alarm clock when I go into sleep mode?
Since I'm your interactive buddy, I can set the alarm clock for you, so that way you'll know exactly when you'll get up.
I'm just gonna head back home and get myself ready for dance class.
Okay, good luck out there, Cicely. And TGR, is there something that you're gonna show me? Well, I think that's all I have time for today. My first time in Dungeons and Dragons as Dungeon Master was a fucking disaster. All because Scotty thought it was a good idea to be all goddamn horny to the point he will make an attempt to sexually assault and even kidnap fantasy women in this session, which not only disgusted me in so many levels, but it also made the entire table consisting of Cicely, Brody and Bernard feel extremely uncomfortable at his actions as well. What Scotty needs to learn is that whatever he has done was wrong, and unless he becomes far less inappropriate, I'm not gonna DM with him ever again. And if he thinks he could apply his preconceived notion about real-life women into the fantasy setting, he needs to learn much more than that. And I do mean, big time. And in the end, a Metro Gargoyle broke into my house and took Scotty away, most likely dropping him off to horny jail. I really hope that my next session will be far better than that train wreck that I had to endure. I really do hope that you all enjoyed my little skit, and until next time, I'll see you all later. Cheerio.